Hey YouTube, how's it going? Red Baron flying at you with another Elestrals Champion League video. Now, I know a lot of you thought the finals match wasn't recorded, but I found someone who actually recorded it, so here it is. Let's get into it. Oh, that's weird. Why isn't this working? Yeah, I lied. Literally no one recorded this video. And, we all kind of had a laugh about it. I know Tim and I, or excuse me, Wirtz and I, we were talking about it at the very beginning of the game. I was like, yo, I'm totally not recording. Are you recording? He was like, no, I'm not recording. And then we're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure A Drive's recording this, so we're fine. You're like, yeah. It comes to, yeah. So after the game, we realized he, in fact, not recorded. So, literally no one recorded this very epic finals match, and we are kind of sad about it. But we are also very happy because that game was super hype. So, if you didn't realize, or if you weren't there, I ended up winning against Wirtz in a best of 3, 2-1. So, unfortunately, I can't show you the gameplay, but I will go through each match and tell you about the feelings and what I was thinking as the games were progressing. So, playing against Wirtz, I knew he was going to play a more aggressive deck, or that's what I assumed he was going to play. So, I prepared for that. I ran my normal packages. I actually ran a more Nexus Central package this time. I ran 3 Ultra the Stars with 3 Toxins and 3 Ash Rabbit. You know, your normal thing. And the first game, it was working very well. I got all my Toxins. I was able to get everything that I needed out on the field. The Jolteons get set out for the Zeuses and the Mount Olympuses, and I was able to get my Galvanom out. And Galvanom ended up winning the game. I was able to blow some cards up. And from there, he just couldn't get back tempo. But the real struggle started when we entered Game 2. As we entered Game 2, he actually ended up siding. In the first game he played, he ended up signing out. So I believe what he did, he probably put more beaters in, make a more earth beater centric deck to get field tempo, and it worked out. This man during game 2 drew, I think, 2 or all of his Scythe of Demeanors in the very beginning of the game, and I just couldn't get over it. And because as we know, Thunder doesn't have any base 5 attackers. I need to get Mount Olympus on the field in order to do that, but I couldn't. I believe I didn't draw that, or I believe once I did draw the... Yes, I believe I remember. I had 2, I ended up having 2 on Mount Olympuses. And, excuse me, no, that was game 3. I didn't draw any Mount Olympus in game 2. None whatsoever. So I wasn't able to get over the 5 attack wall that he kept on putting out. He had 2 Elestrals at 5 attack, both equipped with Scythe of Demeanor. With that, any card I put in defense, he's just going to destroy it, recur to spirits, and then he's going to run away with it. And that's literally what happened in game 2. I was sweating. I was like, oh my god, I just can't get anything, can't get any tempo here. I couldn't draw in my Laurels to actually help when I actually wanted them. And none of my Zeuses. I'll say this, in each of my 3 games, I never drew a Zeus. I never got to activate a single Zeus. Never saw a Elecheck until the very end of game 3. And I know in game 2, I actually ended up drawing Zeus with some other cards. Zeus, few back rows. But my last card was a Galvanom, and I didn't have a single 1-drop Celestial, 1-cost Celestial to actually play. So I ended up mulliganing the hand, going into a few Toxians, Sparkus, and back row. I was like, okay, I can work with this. But he ended up getting the tempo, and I ended up losing game 2. Going to game 3, I decided not to side in anything. There's nothing in my side deck that actually helped me with matchup that isn't already in my deck. So I open up a fairly good hand, Toxian, back rows. Again, I have my Toxians. I drew some of my altars, and so I lead off with Toxian again, play a few back rows, and we go there. He ends up I believe, EQing at some point, or just attacking over it. I believe he EQs. He, again, game 3 was such an uphill battle for me. It was crazy. The amount of times he drew into Scythe. He drew into, I believe, his Scythe and meter, like two of his Scythes and meters, which he shouldn't have that much access to because he literally has to draw into him. That's the only way. Like, I should be able to, even I can't do that. But he draws into 2 of them, and I'm still here facing with the uphill battle. In the beginning of the game, it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We relatively stay around the same spirits. And then he ends up pushing a little bit farther. He's able to get multiple Elestrals out on the field. At one point, he gets 2 Elestrals out on the field equipped with Scythe and Demeter, both of them. It was, I believe, he had a Sprouter and also a Drataya or Rummagem. And he had both of them equipped with Scythe. So I was like, oh, anything those two guys destroy, I'm just gonna lose. He's gonna gain life. I was literally in a pickle. So, and then I draw a card, and I draw Rabbit here. I forgot what my 3 options were when I first got Ass Rabbit. I want to say that I remember now. When I first placed Ass Rabbit, I got my option was Gorgon's Gaze, so I picked that. I was like, okay, so neither of his Elestrals can actually attack over my Ass Rabbit at the moment, because I was able to get rid of his. At that time he had Full Forest out on the field. So to get rid of it, I played my own Mount Olympus. And now Ass Rabbit is at a 6 defense. So I'm like, I'm fairly happy about this. He can't really get over it. So, and then I have Gorgon's Gaze. And I play that. Excuse me, sorry. At this point, he only had one Scythe equipped to one of his Elestrals. He didn't play his second Scythe until the next turn. So I got my GGs, I put it down. I was like, okay, I'm fairly certain that I'm fine here. My Ass Rabbit will survive. And then turn 2, I can do some like crazy stuff. Because at this point, he is down to 4. He has 4 spirits to my 6, but he has a complete overwhelming field presence compared to me. Where I only have 1 back row, which is Alter the Stars. So his turn comes, he plays Equal Links, and I'm like, ooh. Sorry, I have 2 back rows, which is Alter the Stars and. So he plays Equal Links, and I'm like, because I'm not sure here, because Nexus, when you Nexus, you don't target. So I'm not sure where those Nexusing, he declares a Nexus, but I don't know where he's going to Nexus from. So the biggest thing here for me is to Nexus, I have to Nexus the Equal Link. But actually, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before he played the Equal Links, he kind of misplayed here, and we were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, I misplayed there. Well, before the Equal Links, he actually played the Scythe of Demeter on his second Elestial, which is the Rummagem or the Sprouter, or I forgot what it was. So now he has 2 5 attackers, and then he plays the Equal Links, which is really confusing because first he should have played the Equal Links and put Scythe on top of Equal Links, so therefore when he'd be able to pop Mount Olympus and then attack over Rabbit. But he doesn't, and Equal Links is there, so I don't know where he's gonna put his spirits or where he's gonna Nexus to, so I have to GG at this instant. So I GG the Equal Links, make it so he can't Nexus, and then he's forced to pass the turn because neither of his Celestials can attack into my Ass Rabbit. So I draw, and I draw an interesting card. I draw a Thunderstorm. And now looking at his back row, he actually has a full back row with he has 2 Scythes activated and 2 face downs. And then his field is Equal Links, Rummagem, and Sprouter, I think. So he literally almost has a full field. Now I have 6 spirits left. He has 2. But what I have in my hand, I have a Toxin. I've been saving on this Toxin for the longest time. I knew if I was going to win this game, it was going to be through this Toxin. I was going to kill him off when Wirtz gets a little bit too cocky with his life. So, I have a 50-50 chance to hit something with this Thunderstorm. So, I activate the Thunderstorm. I'm down, makes me go down to 4 spirits. I hit the one on the right side, and I'm kind of a little bit devastated by this. Words kind of laughs. He's like, I feel so sorry for you, man, but you missed. I was like, he flips over his drop, and I completely whiff. And I'll be, I didn't know at the time, but this card that he literally just set the previous turn was actually PTA. I miss the Thunderstorm, but I know I need to go in. If I don't go in here and try to get the win, I will not. I'll lose completely next turn. So I take the Toxin, but I've been holding on for the entire game. I play it, I ping him for a damage. Luckily, he doesn't have a GG set or Gorgon's Gaze set, or else my whole game just goes up in smokes. So now he's down to 1 spirit. And he doesn't PTA, which was the card that he had face down. Later he says he really should have PTA'd there. He would have been down to 0 spirits, I would have been down to 0 spirits, and he probably would have won because of cards. You could also have used the spirits on his board for PTA. But he doesn't. He doesn't have to be PTA to the Toxin summon. So I'm trying not to telegraph my moves here, because the most obvious as a player, I need to be able to play back row. I need to be able to play the back row that I have. He doesn't know at this point what that back row is. So my thinking is I need to crash into that Equalings, and Words is probably like, yeah, he'll probably do something like that as well. And no one else saw it coming either. So I attack here, attempting to crash into the Equalings, and I ask for a response. And Words was like, he thinks about it, he's like, no response. And at that point, I knew I had the game. I activate Alter the Stars with one of the spirits I have remaining in my spirit deck. And then I Nexus the spirit that I have from my Ass Rabbit onto my Toxin while my Toxin is attacking. So what happens here is, because Toxin received a spirit, I ping him again for a damage. I burn him again for a damage. So he's down to 0 spirits at this moment. And now Toxin's still attacking his Equalings. Now they're the same attack, but Toxin has more spirits equipped to it. So when Toxin attacks, they both die. But I do an additional damage because I have more spirits. And because he has 0 spirits in his deck, that's game. And man, was I excited to hear about that. Man, was I excited to finally win that game. It was nail-biting all the way through. I really enjoyed my matches against Words. It was super fun. And watching the game with Johnny and Eagle the Duck, their games were also really amazing. Fortunately for us, they did actually record their matches. So if you guys have time, go over to their channels and watch them play. Their games were really, really nice. But yeah, that's the end of Season 1 for ECL. And I came out on top. It was a long journey. I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks. And we were going at it. I'm super excited for Season 2. We already have plans for it. So if you're interested to watch more epic games that I will actually record, hit that like and subscribe button. And I will see you guys later. Fly high.